This is the voice in the wilderness of the people, coming to you in the great wind. This is a day that I have made. Let us rejoice and be glad in it. I pray that I has kept you in good health and with good strength. I pray that I has continued to protect you from all danger, from all accidents, and from all iniquity. I pray that I has showered you with his blessings and his mercies. As long as you continue to call on his name, do his commandments, and hope in his promises. My dear brothers and sisters, I will make a comment on what's happening to our people at this time. I will make a short comment upon the events that is taking place at this time with our people. I beg you to listen to me. I beg you to give attention to what I'm about to say to you. It is very important. It is very important. It is the time, the signs of our time. My dear brothers and sisters, we have come a long way. We have went through many, many afflictions. We have suffered. We have gone through oppression. The destruction that has happened to us as a people has never happened to any other people. Although they want us to forget what has happened to us, I must remind you, what has happened to us have not happened to any other people. But as a people, we have forgotten our path. We have forgotten that we have a Redeemer. We have forgotten that we have laws from our Redeemer. We have forgotten that our Redeemer has said it unto us, that he has made us a special people. We have forgotten our Redeemer has told us what will happen to us if we forget him. He has made it clear to us that we are to keep all his words. Remember our Redeemer. He gave us his name. He said it has to be a memorial unto us for all generation. He said we must not use it in vain, nor cast it to ruin. He gave us his commandments, and he told us we must remember them. We must do them. We must tie them on our hands, keep them between our eyes, write them on our gates and our doorposts. The Most High has given us all that we need. My dear brothers and sisters, we need to go back in the book that the Most High has given us. He has sent prophets unto us to instruct us on the way that we have to live, the way we have to go, the things we have to do. All his prophets has given us his words, and all of them whom he sent unto us in his name with his word has given us the same word. We are to call on his name. We are to do his commandments. And he has given us promises. The promises he has given us, he told us. For us to receive those promises, we must do as he says. My dear brothers and sisters, let me say this to you. Our people was massacred in Jerusalem. Our people was murdered in Jerusalem. When we went into West Africa, we were murdered in West Africa. Before that, we went to Egypt, we was enslaved. We went to Assyria, we was enslaved. Persia, we was enslaved. Babylon, we was enslaved. Everywhere we went, we was persecuted. And the reason why we were, as was told unto us by the prophets, is because we continue to disobey the principles that I have set for us. We are not listening to the messages that the prophets brought unto us. We was murdered on the slave ships. We was murdered in the sea. We was murdered in the cities. We were murdered in the fields. We was hung upon trees like fruits. We was burned alive as entertainment. My dear brothers and sisters, let us reflect on our history. Let us reflect on the words that the prophet spoke to us. Let's go in the book. Let's go in our book and see what they're saying to us, the prophets. Read the words that is wrote down for you. My dear brothers and sisters, we have been murdered in the countryside. We have been murdered in the city. See it. We have been murdered in our cars. Before we was murdered on the streets. Then in our cars. Now we are being murdered in our homes. My dear brothers and sisters, I'm begging you. We need to look and see what EZER is doing to us as a people. EZER is speaking to us again in the same way he sent the prophets to speak to us. He is speaking to us. He is telling us we need to change. My dear brothers and sisters, how much punishment we must get before we know what we're doing that is wrong? How many ways must we be punished for us to know what we're doing that is wrong? My dear brothers and sisters, we need to go in our book. We need to read the words of the prophets. We need to listen to what they're saying to us. And we need to be obedient. My dear brothers and sisters, what we are seeing taking place to our brothers and sisters is not a coincidence. What is happening to our brothers and sisters are signs to us. We must recognize the signs that is before us. We must see what's happening and we must change. We must change. Have you ever seen a people who has gone through all that, what I've lined out to you, and still are not in a position to even retaliate? Have you ever seen a people who have been under these circumstances and is still unable in this day and age to retaliate? My dear brothers and sisters, this was happening to our people is signs and wonders. And there is nothing we as a people could do about it. I know there are those who will tell you that there's a lot of things we could do. They will tell you if we get together, if we do this. But remember, they're just telling you if. I am telling you there is nothing we will be able to do about it. The Spirit of EZER, our Redeemer, is speaking to us as a people. We are still hardening our heads and our heart to listen, to see what He's saying to us. Let me explain this to you. Our Redeemer, EZER, our Redeemer, the Holy One of Israel, EZER, the one who told us through the prophet EZER that He has formed us to be his own. In the book of Isaiah chapter 43, he, our Redeemer, has told us we are his witnesses. We are his servants. My dear people, my brothers and sisters, to be a witness, we have to be able to experience the event, to see it, to be part of it. Then we can explain it. That's what a witness does. And I have told us, he has set us to be his witnesses. For I to convict the enemy for their atrocities, there must be a people for they to commit their atrocities to. We are the sheep in Ayah's pasture. We are his witnesses. We are his servant. Ayah told us we must comfort ourselves in our affliction. We must comfort ourselves in our affliction. Ayah is saying to you, I know you're not happy with what's happening with you. I know that. But he has a plan. And that's why he gave us promises. That's why he told us he's going to gather us again. That's why he told us he's going to bring us back into safety. That's why he sent a report to us. My dear brothers and sisters, I've introduced the report to you. I hope you read it. It is the book of Ezekiel, the prophet Hezekiah. He is the one who brought that report to us, the book of Ezekiel. I want you to read your report, a report that was sent to you to inform you of the things that will happen to you, around you, the things you will have to see, the things you will hear, the things you have to do. Read your report. There is only one thing that will stop what's happening to our people. One thing that can stop it. And it's Ayah, our Redeemer. He is the only one that can prevent this from happening to us. But because we would not listen, we will not take heed, it will continue and it will get worse. This trial at this time is to wake us up as a people. Your head has to be able to comprehend what's happening. We as a people refuse to identify who our enemies are. We as a people refuse to identify who our Redeemer is. We as a people refuse to call the name of our Redeemer. When every one of the prophets whom he sent to us are instructing us to call on his name. My dear brothers and sisters, EZER is bringing it home to us now in an effort to see if we will recognize what's happening. He is not doing it in isolation anymore, where they find you on a tree and they don't know who do it. He is not doing it in the street when you're running away and causing them to shoot you in the back, where they could lie and say that, oh, he was coming to me to attack me. He's not doing it in the car no more, where they could say that, oh, he was trying to pull a gun. No. He is causing them to do it where there will be no excuse, where there will be no defense to them. I am speaking to us, my dear brothers and sisters. We need to listen. We need to turn to the Most High, our Redeemer. We need to call on his name. We need to keep his commandments. We need to hope in his promise. That's what we need to do. There is no way you will retaliate against what's happening to you. There is no way you can win if you retaliate for what's happening to you. We are EZER's witnesses. We have to witness what's happening. We have to comfort ourselves in our affliction. We must do this. EZER has given us the mechanism by which we will overcome this. But my dear brothers and sisters, most of us refuse to follow the instructions. Most of us doesn't even care about the regulation that EZER set down for us. And in this time, he's trying to make it clear to us. He's trying to get us to turn back. He's trying to get us to turn to him. He's begging us. He's begging us to turn to him. He's showing us there is no other way for us. He's showing us in every instance there is no other way out for us. You will not find justice from the police. You will not find justice in the court. You will not find justice in the city. You will not find justice in the field. You will not find justice on the street. You will not find justice in your car. You will not find justice even in your house. You will not find it. You will not have peace in the city. You will not have peace in the field. You will not have peace on the street. You will not have peace in your car. You will not have peace in your house. EZER says, when you go into your tribulation and you decide, when you decide to think back on his word to you, then you're going to realize what's happening to you. My dear brothers and sisters, I will introduce you to Nehemiah. Read the prophet Nehemiah. Nehemiah was in captivity Read it. Read Nehemiah. He was a wine bearer to the king of Babylon. And he was not thinking anything about Israel, Jerusalem. No. Until one day he met a Hebrew Israelite who came after him into captivity. And these Israelites who came after started talking to him, telling him what happened back home, how the walls is broken down, the gates is burnt, how the people flee, how they was under oppression, they was put under like slaves in their own land. And Nehemiah, when he heard this, he started to cry. And he went in his book and he saw what Isaiah said. He saw what he said. He saw where he told them, if you do not keep my commandments, I'm going to bring destruction upon you. I'm going to scatter you in foreign lands until you obey what he is giving you to obey. Read your book. See what Nehemiah did. See what he did. See how he gathered the people together. See how he got the priests, and most of them had the name of Aya in their names too. See how he got them together. See how he able to go back and build a wall and the gates and divide the land. My brothers and sisters, we are in captivity, and Aya is speaking to us. Putting in your mind about taking revenge for the events that's happening among our people is a waste of time. Our ancestors went through worse than that. We've been here for 400 years and we're not seeking our Redeemer. And Aya is tired with this. He's getting fed up. He's going to bring you in a situation where you have no choice but to think, but to consider. He says, if only my people who are called by my name, if only my people who are called by my name will seek him, how quickly will he hear us and attend unto our cry? If only his people who are called by his name will turn to him, he said, how quickly I will hear their cry and attend unto them. We are not doing this. We are not doing it. He says, my people are destroyed because of the lack of knowledge. They have given up their water of life. They have given up their source. They have given up their cornerstone. They have given up the rock. They have given up the one that will give them refuge. They have given it up to go after cisterns that cannot hold water. They have gone after things that is worthless. He says his people has been sold for nothing. My dear brothers and sisters, our people have given up for something that's nothing, for nothing. We just give him up for nothing. EZER is speaking to you. Through the events you are seeing, EZER is speaking to you. I have sent us a prophet, Hezekiah, the book of Ezekiel. In that book, he told us there are those who will hear and there are those who will forbear. So who wants to hear will hear, and who wants to forbear will forbear. I'm saying this to you, my brothers and sisters, who wants to hear. Our only way out of this destruction is to call on the name of EZER, our Redeemer. We have to keep His commandments. We have to hope in His promise. We have to comfort ourselves in our affliction. EZER is the only one that will bring us peace. EZER is the only one that will bring us justice. We need to call out on His name. Please, my brothers and sisters, we need to call on His name. My dear brothers and sisters, I want you to know that we are not the ones to judge these people who are doing these things to us. We are not their judge. We must remember we are witnesses to EZER, our Redeemer. He is the one we are witness to. EZER is just using us as His witnesses. EZER is the one that will judge those who are doing these things to us. Our duty is to praise EZER, our Redeemer, keep His commandments, and trust in His promises, so that these people will never escape judgment. If we seek to take revenge, which will be a failure, because EZER have not prepared us for such. We are to seek EZER, our Redeemer, for protection against their wickedness. We are to call on His name and praise Him. We are to keep His commandments and hope in His promise. That's what we have to do as a people. EZER is our Redeemer. He will give us justice. Who will hear? Let them hear. Who forbear? Let them forbear. I'm saying it to you in the wind. EZER is our judge. He will judge the wicked. He will judge those who oppress us. We are to be EZER's witnesses. That's all. That's all we have to be. His witnesses. EZER will do the rest. My dear brothers and sisters, there is so much to say. But I'm not saying any more about this at this time. My interest is to encourage you in what you have to do. Your interest at this time as we are living in is not for revenge or to fight against the oppressor. 400 years, my brothers and sisters, 400 years, we've been fighting the wrong fight. 400 years we have been ignoring the truth that will set us free. I'm here today, my brother and my sisters, to encourage you to set yourself free, to rise above the oppression of the oppressor. Listen to the words I'm speaking to you, my brothers and sisters. It is so much. I can go in so much detail, but I want you to know what you have to do. And what you have to do is turn to Him. You cannot be worshiping idols and expect IAH to help you and deliver you. You cannot be calling on all these names from blasphemy and expect IAH to help you. IAH wants you to listen to Him. I will read 2 Psalms or 3 Psalms for you. Please listen to what the prophet saying to us. It will be Psalm 94. O IAH, my Redeemer, to whom vengeance belongs. O IAH, to whom vengeance belongs, show thyself. Lift up thyself, O Judge of the earth. Render a reward to the proud. O IAH, stop the way of the wicked. Let them never triumph. Remove them from their arrogance. How long shall they speak hard things? How long will they continue to work their wickedness and their iniquity and boast of themselves? They break in pieces your people, O IAH. They afflict your heritage. They slay the widow and the stranger, and they murder the fatherless. Yet they say that IAH shall not see, neither shall IAH, the Redeemer of Israel, IAH, regard what they do. Comprehend, you brutish among the nations. You fools, when will you be wise? He that planted the air, shall he not hear? He that formed the eye, shall he not see? He that chaseth the heathen, shall not he correct? He that teacheth man knowledge, shall he not know? IAH knows the thoughts of man, that they are vanity. Blessed is the man whom IAH chaseth. O IAH, and teach him out of the law, that thou may give him rest from the days of adversity, until the pit be digged for the wicked. Until the pit be digged for the wicked. For IAH will not cast off his people, neither will he forsake his inheritance. But judgment shall return unto righteousness, and all the upright in heart shall follow it. Who will rise up for us against the evildoers? Who will stand up for us against the workers of iniquity? Unless EZER has been my help, our soul has almost dwelt in silence. When I said my foot sleepeth, thy mercy, O EZER, held me up. In the multitude of thy thoughts within me, your comfort delight my soul. Shall the throne of iniquity have fellowship with EZER, which frame mischief by a law? They gather themselves together against the soul of the righteous, and condemn the innocent blood. But EZER is our defense. EZER is the rock. EZER is our refuge. He shall bring upon them their own iniquity, and shall cut them off in their own wickedness. EZER, our Redeemer, shall cut them off. My brothers and sisters, here our ancestors is telling us what we have to look forward to. That's a promise. EZER will deal with those who oppress us. I'll read another psalm with you. It is 95. Come, let us sing unto EZER. Let us make a joyful noise to the rock of our salvation. Let us come before his presence with thanksgiving, and make a joyful noise unto him. For EZER is great, a great king above all. In his hand are the deep places of the earth. The strength of the hills is his also. The sea is his, he made it, and his hands formed the dry land. O come, let us worship and bow down. Let us kneel before EZER, our Maker. For he is our Redeemer, and we are the people of his pasture, the sheep of his hand. Today, if you will hear his voice, harden not your heart as in provocation, and as in the day of temptation in the wilderness, when your fathers tempted EZER, EZER has shown you his works. 40 years long was I grieved with the generation, and said, it is a people that do err in their heart. They have not known EZER's ways, unto whom EZER sware in his wrath that they should not enter his rest. My dear brothers and sisters, that was our ancestors for 40 years, and they did not seek his way. We are here for 400 years, and we have not sought his way. EZER is teaching us. EZER is trying to wake us up. Wake up, my brother and my sister. Listen to the words of the prophets, whom EZER sent in his name with his words unto us. Psalm 96. O sing unto EZER a new song, sing unto EZER all the earth. Sing unto EZER, bless his name. Show forth his salvation from day to day. Praise his name from day to day. Declare his glory among the heathen. We have to praise EZER-IAH's name while we are among the heathen. His wonders among all people, wherever we are. We have to praise EZER-IAH that they may see EZER-IAH's glory. For EZER-IAH is great and greatly to be praised. He is to be feared above all. For all the deities of the nations are idols. He is telling you, if you are not calling on EZER-IAH, you are calling on an idol. For all the gods of the nations are idols. But EZER-IAH made heaven. Honor and majesty are before him. Strength and beauty are in his sanctuary. Give unto EZER-IAH, O ye kindreds of the people. Give unto EZER-IAH glory and strength. Give unto EZER-IAH the glory due unto his name. Bring an offering and come into his court. O worship EZER-IAH in the beauty of holiness. Fear before him all the earth. Say among the heathen that EZER-IAH reigns. Tell them they need to know, they don't know. The world also shall be established, that it shall not be moved. He shall judge the people righteously. EZER-IAH is our judge. Let the heaven rejoice, and let the earth be glad. Let the sea roll, and the fullness thereof. Let the field be joyful, and all that therein. Then shall all the trees of the wood rejoice. They all are witnesses to what they are doing. The very trees that they hang our ancestors on. The very field where they made them walk until they die. They all are witnesses. They all are witnesses to the atrocities that they have done unto us as a people. Before EZER-IAH, for he cometh, for he come to judge the earth. My dear brothers and sisters, let me read it again. Verse 11. I'll go back to 10. Say among the heathen that EZER-IAH reign. The world also shall be established, that it shall not be moved. He shall judge the people righteously. Let the heavens rejoice, and let the earth be glad. Let the sea roll, and the fullness thereof. Let the field be joyful, and all that is therein. Then shall all the trees of the wood rejoice before EZER-IAH, for he cometh to judge the earth. He shall judge the world with righteousness, and the people with his truth. He shall judge the earth in righteousness, and the people with his truth. My dear brothers and sisters, we need to read the prophets. We need to read the prophets. We need to know the name and call the name of the Most High for your protection and for your children's protection. Teach your children. Teach your neighbor. Teach your friends. His name is EZER-IAH. Teach them, my people. Teach them. Tell them. Let them hear it. If they want to hear, they will hear. And if they want to forbear, let them forbear. But do it. Tell them. EZER-IAH need us to do this. And let EZER-IAH do his bidding. What's happening in this world today? If I wanted us to fight for freedom, we would be able to fight. There are some things we can fight for, and there are some things we cannot fight for. Some things are in the hand of our Redeemer. We are a special people. We are a people who was given instructions. We are a people who was given laws. We are a people who was told how we have to behave, the things we have to do and the things we do not have to do. My dear brothers and sisters, I pray that you will get what I'm saying to you. I pray that you will get what I'm saying to you. I need you to know this. We are not to be the judge. We are the witnesses. We are only the witnesses. And again, what I is doing is that we should wake up. We should see there is a trend. I is calling us, telling you, hey, I'm not hiding this no more. I'm not going to let them hide and do you anything anymore. I'm going to make them do it where there is no defense for them. But why am I doing this to you? Your head is so hardened. 400 years. 400 years. After you've been burned, hanged on trees, set as bait to alligator, dismembered. After all of this, put into prison houses, left on the street corners like wild boars, no jobs. Every form of oppression, in your sports, in your school, they changes the criteria and make it harder and harder for you. They killed you on the street, in your car, on the playing field, in the party house. Yet still you are not seeking your Redeemer. You are to turn to your Redeemer. I invite you to read Nehemiah. Read the prophet Nehemiah. Listen to what he tells you. Read your report, Ezekiel. Read your book. Read your book, my brother and sister. Read your book. But I'm going to read one more psalm with you. This one is Psalm 147. It reads, Praise EZER, for it is good to sing praise unto our Redeemer. For it is pleasant and praise is comely. EZER built up Jerusalem. He gathered together the outcast of Israel. You are the outcast of Israel. We was cast out of Israel. EZER is saying here, he is the one who built us up. He is the one that going to gather us back together. He healed the broken heart. He bind up their wounds. EZER is the one that will fix our heart. The distresses we're going through and the things we've seen happening to our people, Yes, we get angry. But what are we doing about it? You get angry for a day, 2 days, 3 days, a week. You go on the street and then you forget it. And then another one happens. You do the same thing over and over. Your Redeemer is telling you, you need to come to him. Your Savior is telling you, you need to come to him. He is the one that will bind you up. He is the one that will protect you. He says he healed the broken in heart. He bind up their wound. He tell the number of the stars. He called them by their name. Great is our Redeemer and of great power. His comprehension is infinite. There's no limit to EZER's intelligence, his wisdom, knowledge, and comprehension. EZER lift up the meek. He cast the wicked down to the ground. You know why the wicked are prevailing over us? We are following the way of the wicked. We are doing what the wicked does. We haven't separated ourselves from the wicked. So we are paying the price of the wicked. EZER lift up the meek. He cast down to the ground the wicked. Sing unto EZER with his thanksgiving. Sing praise unto the harp, unto EZER with the harp. Who covered the heavens with clouds, who prepareth rain for the earth, who make grass to grow upon the mountain. He gave to the beast his food, and to the young raven that cry. He delighted not in the strength of the horse. He take not pleasure in the legs of man. The Most High does not seek pleasure in men. He does not take hope in horses. EZER take pleasure in them that love him, in those that hope in his mercy. That's where EZER take pleasure. EZER take pleasure to deliver you who seek after him. EZER take pleasure in blessing you and guiding you and cleaning you up and protecting you, you who seek after him. Praise EZER, O Jerusalem. Praise EZER, O Zion. For he has strengthened the bars of thy gate. He has blessed thy children within thee. EZER is the one that will save you, my brothers and sisters. No government, no police, no gun, nothing like this will save you. EZER is the one that will save you. He made peace in thy borders. He filled thee with the finest of the wheat. He sent forth his commandments upon the earth. His word run very swiftly. It's in the air. It's very swift. He gives snow like wool. He scattered the host frost like ashes. He cast forth his ice like morsels. Who can stand before his cold? Who can go in Iceland in the cold and stay there and live without just stand up there and live? You can't do that. He's telling you now, he sent out his word. He melt them. Do you see how the ice is melting? EZER's word is being fulfilled. He says here, he caused his wind to blow. How the ice is melting? Global warming. They tell you there's global warming. Well, the wind is warm. The wind is getting hot. The air is hot. And when the air blow over the ice, the waters flow. He said, and the waters flow. Isaiah is telling you to look for his signs. This is another sign he is showing us. He showed his word unto EZER-IAH. He's telling you here now, he gave his word unto you, EZER-IAH, his statutes and his judgment unto EZER-IAH. He gave it unto you. He has not dealt so with any nation. And for his judgment, they have not known them. Do you see what I just told you? You should know his judgment. You should know that you are just a witness and he is the judge. I have just told you that he has given this responsibility to you to be his witness and his servant. He just told you that you are not the judge to judge them. But he has shown you, he has given it to you, he has told you what is your place and his place. What's your position? What his position? He also told you he have not shown this to any other nation. And this other nation does not know this. So they are thinking all what they are doing that they're going to get away with it. And we as a people are allowing them to get away with it. You know how? We are not calling on the Most High. So they are getting away with it. They are getting away with it from us, but not from IAH. IAH will judge them for what they do. But we are to call on IAH so they don't do it to us. We are supposed to prevent them from doing it to us. My brothers and sisters, we have to do it. We have to call on IAH so that they cannot do these things to us. And unless we comprehend this, they're going to keep doing it to us. We have to call on the name of IAH, our Redeemer. Let me take you to Psalm 118. These are things I gave you, brothers and sisters, before. But I am going to repeat this to you. Let us go to Psalm 118. And I will begin in verse 9. It is better to trust in IAH than to put confidence in princesses. That's your government. You cannot put trust in government. If you go back to 8, it is better to put trust in IAH than to put confidence in man. That's verse 8. Verse 9, it is better to trust in IAH than to put confidence in princesses. So you not to put confidence in man, you not put confidence in government. In verse 10, he tells you this, O EZER-IAH, hear what he tells you. He says, all the nations will compass you about. They're going to push you around. All the nations will push you around. But with the name of IAH, you will stop them. With the name of IAH, you will stop them. He goes to verse 11. Hear what he tells you. They will compass you about, yea. They will compass you about. But with the name of IAH, you will destroy them. He's telling you why he gave you his name. This is what he is telling you here. Why he's given you his name. It goes to verse 12. They will compass you about like bees. Have you ever seen how bees cover people when bees attack? They cover them completely. Here he is telling you they will come at you like bees. But when they come at you, they shall be quenched. They will be dead. They will die. They will be like a fire of thorns. They will burn up. Why? How? He tells you right there, he says, for with the name of your Redeemer, with the name EZER, you will destroy them. My dear brothers and sisters, you will destroy them. I hope you have been studying the name. I told you his name is EZER, and I hope you have been studying it for yourself. Search it out and find his name. I'm going to say one more thing about his name, because EZER wants his name to be known among his people. I want you to go to the book of Nehemiah, and I want you to look at the names in this book, Nehemiah. I want you to look at the name of the priests. I want you to look at their names. You will notice in their names, most of them have the word EZER at the end. You might see the word Jah at the end in some of them, J-A-H. We know the J never existed, so the J have to be removed. It's EZER. And those you see with L, they have to be changed as well. Those was in captivity, and they changed the name into L. So this had to be EZER. They remove the name EZER from the names. Well, my dear brothers and sisters, it is so simple. Let me give you one little way. If you have a phone, a smartphone, please Google all names that ends with IAH. You can also Google all names in the Bible that ends with IAH. And search these sites. There are different sites. There are some will give you 200 something, 100, different names. They will give you different amount. Search them. And there are sites also that gives you the meaning of the names. I think there's a site, if you pull up all the names ending with IAH, you can say IAH and the meaning, and they will give you the meaning of those names. Now, when you have this in your presence, you will see what I'm trying to explain to you. They will tell you that all these names are Hebrew names. They will tell you they are Hebrew names. For instance, if you go in Nehemiah chapter 9, you see like Kadamiel. This was supposed to be Kadamiah. There is no L in the name. Bani, yes. Hashabiah, yes. Sheb-Ebiah, Hodebiah, Shebaniah, Peniah, stand up. These were the priests who stand up and sign the paper to keep the true worship of EZER, our Redeemer, and bring it back to our people. You will notice that they have the name of EZER in their name. But when you Google the names with EZER, look for the meaning of the names. They will tell you that some of the names, in each name, each one, you will see it ends with IAH. But when you go to the meaning, they will tell you this is Hebrew, from the Hebrew language. But when they give you the meaning of the name, you will see they tell you God so-and-so, or Lord so-and-so, or Jehovah so-and-so. Now, you, with your own intelligence, if they are telling you that it means God so-and-so, or Lord, or Jehovah so-and-so, you to yourself Look at the name. The name does not have no G-O-D in it. It does not have no L-O-R-D in it. It does not have no Jehovah in it. What they are doing there to you is they're switching the name. They are removing IAH from it and giving you G-O-D or L-O-R-D or Jehovah. That's what they're doing to you. You have to comprehend this. You must comprehend this. Because that is his name right there. But you see, our ancestors read from right to left. They never read from left to right. So they always will call the name of IAH first. They will say IAH messenger, IAH blessed, IAH savior, IAH witness. They will give you the different meaning of the names. You have to take the word, the G-O-D out from what they're giving you and put IAH. You have to take out where you see L-O-R-D and put IAH. You have to take out where they put Jehovah and put IAH. And you will read it like this: IAH's messenger, or IAH's servant, or IAH listened, or IAH blessed. That is how you will identify his name very, very easily. Just Google all names ending with IAH. Just Google that and the meaning of the names, and you will comprehend what I'm saying to you. My dear brothers and sisters, these people know the name of the Most High. They've been hiding it from us. That's why the Most High said they will seek to take his name out from among his people. But we have found many ways to find his name. For instance, his name is in the most of the names of the prophets. Jeremiah himself tell you he is called by that same name. If you go in Jeremiah 15 verse 16, chapter 15 verse 16. The name that they have called Israel, it was not called Israel. Our Icom name was changed to EZER-IAH. He was given the name of IAH. That's why IAH say, you are called by my name. He was no El. El is from Babylon, from the Talmud. The J was never invented before 1523. It was only used in the year, first time it was used in the year. You can Google that as well. Google the J. See when it was invented. See how it came. That was the last letter invented in the English alphabet, the J. That's why you see they have in low case the J with the dot on top of it. It always was an I. They just put a curve and they changed the name, the letter name. And once they changed that letter name, they has given you new names. They have changed his name. The sound that IAH gave to Jeremiah, to Shemaiah, Moses, was IAH. They put it in your book as I am. It's IAH. That's the name he gave. David gave you his name in Psalm 68. Read it. They take the I out and they put the J there. Then ask yourself, why is it that everywhere the name of the Most High is supposed to be in the scriptures, they have put the word L-O-R-D? L-O-R-D is Baal. That's what the Most High say he hates. Baal worship. He hates that. Our people did that. And that's why they were scattered all over the world. Because they turned to Baal worship. But they took his name out. And they put the name, the same name that IAH hates. That's what they put there for you. Then in some places they put G-O-D. G-O-D, my brothers and sisters, is not a name. G-O-D is a title. Like you use the word queen. Queen is not her name. She has a name, but the title is queen. And that's what their gods used to be, because they had many gods. They had one chief one, Balagad. Balagad is the same thing you say today when you use the word Lord, is the same thing. Or Baal Poro is the same. We as the children of Israel must serve Aya, our Redeemer. We are not to serve idols. We are not to serve demons, nor fallen angels, nor evil spirits. The very people who have changed your name, they have changed your name from Hebrew Israelites to Negroes, from Negroes to Africans, from Africans to Igbos, from Igbos to black, from black when you got here to black Americans, from black Americans to Afro Americans, from Afro Americans to colored, from colored to American to African American, as they call you today. These people who have continued to give you new names are the same people who have changed the name of your Redeemer. The same people who have changed the name of your Redeemer to you are the same people who are changing your name today, my dear brothers and sisters. Your name that Ayah has given you is EZER-IAH. You are Hebrew Israelites. They have changed your names. They have done the same with the Most High name. They have continued to change his name to you. They have given you Lord, God, Jehovah. Now they have given you a new one, JC. They have continued to change Ayah's law to you. See, they cannot change his law. They have taught us different lies. And when they teach us lies, we follow the lies and we lost the truth. And we all need the truth again so that we could be set free. To get familiar with the name that our ancestors was called by, I encourage you, Google all names with IAH at the end and do just as I tell you. Check the meaning of it. They will tell you it's a Hebrew name, so they know that. But then when they get to the end, the meaning, they'll tell you God or Lord. They will not give you the name, the right name, right in your eye. You will see it. You will see Hodiah or Azariah. You will see that. Peliah. You will see Nehemiah. You will see those names right there in your face. But when you go to the meaning, they remove the ayah complete and they put God. That's what they do to us as a people. The name of ayah is in our book. It is in our book. It's right there in our book. In Nehemiah, you will see most of our ancestors' names because most of them was like the priests. So you will go through Nehemiah, you will see it. You will see EZER-IAH, DELAIAH, TOBIAH, HABIAH, URIAH, HELIKAIAH. You will see PEDIAH, MALIKAIAH, Zechariah, Hodiah, Azariah. You will see all those names in your book, my dear brothers and sisters. They have even changed the names of the holy watchers. They give you a name like Gabriel. You will find his name in the book as well. His name was not Gabriel. The angel's name was Gabriel, Daniah. Daniel was Daniah. The Babylonians changed all the ayahs into L. That's what they did. That's what they did. They switched the names. We need to go back to our Redeemer name, my brothers and sisters, so that we could be preserved and secured from these wicked people. These same people who have changed the name of the Most High and have changed your name. Now, my brothers and sisters, in the book of Nehemiah, you will see they have, in one of the areas, they have the word Jews. We as a people was never called Jews. Never. Read your whole Bible. Start from Genesis. And you will see. From Genesis, it was Hebrew. And when we reach into Exodus, is Hebrew, Israelites. Once the name of Jacob was changed, we became Hebrew Israelites. We was never called Jews. The Jews are Gentiles. Let me just show you, because I want you to study this. Let's go to the book Genesis and start in chapter 10. It says, "Now these are the generations of the sons of Noah." Now, let me say this to you. Noah was an albino. Two parents making a white child, skin child. He was albino. Noah had 3 sons, Shem, Ham, and Japheth. Japheth came out similarly to Noah. They are a pale looking people. The sons of Japheth was Gomer, Magog, Madai, Javan, Tubal, Meshach, Tyrus. These are your nations you find around Russia. Russia is the Magog. He's the chief prince. He's the biggest one of them, the most powerful one today. So these were the sons of Japheth. You had Gomer was his first son. And the first son of Gomer is Ashkenaz and Ramphant and Togarmah. These are the Jewish people today. These are the people that call themselves Ashkenazis, Ashkenaz Jews. They are the children of Gomer. And in your own book, he tells you, and the sons of Javan. Who's Javan? The son of Japheth. Elisha, Tarshish, Kittim, and Duadnim. And then he tells you in verse 5, by these were the isles of the Gentiles divided in the land, every one after his tongue, after their families in their nation. My dear brothers and sisters, these Jews are Gentiles. They are not Hebrew Israelites. You are not Jew. You don't have to convert to a religion to be a Hebrew Israelite. It's a bloodline. It's a DNA. You are never Jewish. Then you go to verse 6 and he tells you, and the sons of Ham. Listen, now pay attention to the names that he gave you for Japheth. Japheth children. Check their name. Do you see any names like this on the continent of Africa? Do you see any names like this in the continent of Africa? No, my brother, you don't see it there. Because these people are not from there. These people are from Russia. They are from that place where Trump and them having a problem with over there. That's where they're from. Now, about the sons of Ham, he says, Cush, Mizraim. Cush, I think it was Ethiopia, and Mizraim was Egypt. Put, either Somalia or one of them, and Canaan. That's where we were, in the land of Canaan, with the land they call Israel today. This land is not Israel. This land is called the Promised Land. It is the land that was given to the children of EZER-IAH to be their homeland. And the sons of Cush, he says Seba. That's all the different countries you see in Africa, except Canaan. Not Canaan. Take out Canaan. All the other islands, all the other nations you see there, like South Africa, like Zulu, like all of them. Napa, all of them. That's there. That's them. That's Ham's children right there. Let us don't make no mistake about that. The scripture tells us who we are. So we don't have to make mistake. We don't have to assume who we are. We don't have to assume who these people are. The scripture is showing us who they are. It's right there in your book, in Genesis chapter 10. Read it, and you will see it right there in your book. So he is telling us, Japheth, who is Japheth? He has shown us who is Ham. Remember, he had 3 sons. Ham, Japheth, and Shem. So, if he had 3 sons, we have to know who is the other son. Why are they calling us Africans? Why are they calling all of us Ham? Ham children, Ham. Like we all are Ham children. What happened to the other son? If we know they are Japheth, they are the Gentiles from in Europe, from the Khazar people. If we know they are there from there, so if they are painting all of us that remain as Ham children. So what happened to Shem? What happened to Shem? Shem is missing. They take Shem out. Huh? Shem is missing? No, Shem is not missing. Because he tells you, when it reaches in verse 20, he said, these are the sons of Ham after their families, after their tongue, in their countries, and in their nation. So today, we know who is Ham. We know Ham is what? What we call Africa today. Except Canaan. Canaan is on the continent. But we take out Canaan, we know that that's what they call in Africa today. Ham. It's the same people like us. They look like us. We was always living among them. We go among them. They was like us, same melanated people. Now, let us go to 21. See what he say about Shem. And again, check the names of these children of Ham. Check their names. Check their names. See how their names sound to you. Feel it out. Try to pronounce them and see how it feel out to you. Because with those names, there are still names like that still exist in these places. Check Japheth's name and then go on the map with Japh and on the map, the world map. Look at Europe and check names in Europe. You will see the names still exist there. These names are different to Ham names. That's why he says, and these are the sons of Ham after their families, after their tongue, in their countries and in their nation. After their tongue. The tongue means their languages. It's the same thing he said about Japheth. These are the families, their lands, and their tongue. So if we search today for those names, we still could find it. They're still there. Identifying them. Go among these people who call themselves Jews. Do any of their names sound like anything like what you will find in Africa, Northern Africa? No, those names don't belong there. Those names belong to Europe. That's why they are from all over Europe. Join a religion and call themselves a religion they call Jewish religion. That's what it is. A Jewish religion is not a race. They are not a race of people. They are a religion. That's the difference between the Jews, separate Japheth from Ham and from Shem. They are not a race of people. They are liars. Now let us see what he says about Shem. He says, verse 21, unto Shem also, the father of all the children of Eber. What's Eber? Eber, that's where the word Hebrew came from. Eber, the brother of Japheth, the elder. Even to him were children born. You see, so Eber, as we know, as Abraham came, they came to him, the Hebrew, he was the brother of Japheth. Now let's go to 22. The children of Shem, Elam, Ashur, Arphaxad, Lud, Aram, and the children of Aram, Uz, Hul, Gether, and Masha. And Arphaxad begat Salah, and Salah begat Eber, another Eber come in the family. And unto Eber were born two sons. The name of one was Peleg, for in his days was the earth divided, and his brother's name was Joktan. In that time, that's when they divided the land. So Japheth get up in the cold part, the ice. Shem get between ice and hot. And Ham get all the heat. And that's the reason why we are a little, some of us, lighter than Ham children. Ham was always in the hot, in the heat, whereas we was half hot, half cold. My dear brothers and sisters, this is a quick history on who you are. You may study it. It is in Genesis chapter 10. And these are the people who have taken your name out of the book. These are the people who have continued to change your name. Every so often they change your name so that you will never know who you are and where you're from. My dear brothers and sisters, again, the J that they used was invented in 1523. It was first used in 1524. It was invented by a Roman, an Italian Roman. The same ones who seek to change the laws of the Most High. The same one who changed the name of the Most High. The same ones who changed the days of the Most High. The same ones who seek to change the months of the Most High and the years of the Most High and His season. The same ones who changed all of this are the same ones who changed His name. And they are the same ones who have changed your name, my dear brothers and sisters. And if you want to further this, you will have to go in Deuteronomy, where it tells you the nations who have conspired against you. And you will see, and the nation that He will bring in the valley, in that great war that they will have, you will see it's the same nation. You will see it is Magog. You will see it is Gomer. You will see it's the Ashkenaz. EZER is going to bring them and destroy them right there in the land that EZER promised us, because they have taken it to be their possession, knowing very well that EZER has appointed that land for His people. So they have taken the land, taken you out, take the land, possess it, and claim it to be theirs, believing that EZER have not seen what they have done, believing that EZER haven't heard what they have said. But the day come, it's almost here, when EZER will judge them for what they have done to us. Remember this, my brothers and sisters. Remember the promises EZER has made unto us. Remember, EZER have made these promises unto us. He has given us this land. He has made a promise unto us. He has made a covenant with us. It will be fulfilled. My dear brothers and sisters, read your book. Go to Genesis chapter 15, 16, from 15. and read what he said unto Abraham. That's us. That's our people. We are from the children of Shem. We are Shemites. These people who have taken our land and call themselves Jews are Jewish, and they are Semitic. We're not Semitic. We are Shemitic. They counterfeit the truth, seek to destroy us, to take our possession. But I am our Redeemer. Let me read one little area for you in this same Genesis. Hear what he said. I will go in Genesis chapter 15, and I will begin in verse 12. He says, "And when the sun was going down, a deep sleep fell upon Abram, and lo, an horror of great darkness fell upon him. And he said unto Abraham, Know for a surety that your seed shall be a stranger in a land that is not theirs." My dear brothers and sisters, do you hear what I said to Abraham? He told Abraham that we will be in a land that is not ours. My dear brothers and sisters, this land here is not ours. And hear what he says. He said, "And shall serve them," which means the land that we go be in that is not ours, we will have to serve the people in the land. Serve, my dear brothers and sisters. We are still serving them. What do you do with your paycheck? What do you do to get a paycheck? My dear brothers and sisters, we are still serving them. And he says, "And they shall afflict them for 400 years." My dear brothers and sisters, a lot of our brothers are getting confused with this, and they are saying this is Egypt. Let me let you know, in Egypt, we was never in Egypt for 400 years. We was not there. And it's easy to find this. You just need to read, see when we went into Egypt, see when we came out. That's for another lesson. We was never in Egypt for 400 years. Here Aya is saying to Abraham, make sure and you remember what I'm saying to you, that your seed shall be stranger in a land that is not theirs, and shall serve these people in the land, and the people shall afflict them, shall afflict your children for 400 years. My dear brothers and sisters, Aya was saying this to Abraham. Do you think you could change it? Do you think you could change it? Let's go to verse 14. And also, he says, that nation whom they shall serve, I will judge. He says, he will judge the nation. Do you see what I am saying to you? He says, and also that nation that will afflict them, the nation that will afflict them, I will judge them, judge the nation. And he go on further. He give us our promises. He tell us what gonna happen to us Here he tells us what they will do. And hear what he said to us after that. He says, and afterwards shall they come out with great substance. After I have judged the nation that is afflicting us, we will come out with great substance. And thou shalt go to thy father in peace, and thou shalt be buried in a good old age. You tell him, and you, Abraham, will go to your fathers. Where? He will die. You will go to your fathers in peace. You will be buried in a good old age. And he continues, but in the fourth generation, after that 400 years, they shall come here again. For the iniquity of the Amorites is not yet full. And it come to pass that when the sun went down and it was dark, behold, a smoking furnace and a burning lamp that passed between those pieces. In the same day, EZER made a covenant with Abraham, saying unto thy seed, I have given this land for the river of Egypt, from the river of Egypt unto the great river, the river Euphrates. The Canaanites and the Canaanites and the Kadmonites and the Hittites and the Perizzites and the Rephaims and the Amorites and the Canaanites and the Girgashites and the Jebusites. Give us this. So, my dear brothers and sisters, what I'm showing you is this. Our situation was foretold before we became a nation. Our future was foretold way before we became a nation. So I beg you, speak to your children, your brothers and sisters, your neighbors. Tell them to read the word of EZER, your Redeemer. Getting angry wouldn't solve our problem. Even though we had arms, it wouldn't solve our problems. We have to be humble. We have to comfort ourselves in the situation we're in. Learn from what we see. EZER is calling all of us to his obedience. We need to obey EZER. That's the only way we will be able to overcome our trials and our tribulation. That's the only way. Because EZER has already promised what he will do. And his word must be fulfilled. EZER word is truth. It cannot be changed. We cannot postpone it. We have to abide by it. We have to obey it. We have to bring ourselves in line with it. So Ayah has given us his name, he has given us his commandments, and he has given us his promises. No one could change them. They will seek to, but no one will be able. So my dear brothers and sisters, stay in the word of Ayah your Redeemer. Ayah is great. Ayah's name is excellent to us in all the earth. Ayah is great. Ayah is great. We are Ayah's witnesses. We are not judges. We have to judge the things we do. That's the only authority we have as a judge. To check what we do. Make sure we do what we are supposed to do. Say what we're supposed to say. Follow Ayah's instruction. That's what we have to do. And before I leave you, let me make a little statement on this. I've seen the brother of this young man that was killed by a police officer in his own apartment. He stood up, he forgave this young lady. The mother forgave, the father forgave her, the judge, and our people are enraged. They are mad. My dear brothers and sisters, that's what we are supposed to do as a people. We do not have the authority to punish these people. Because if you do, you will bring more weight upon yourself. This is exactly what Ayah said to us. We are just the witness. And let me remind you, because you brothers and sisters who are so mad, who are so angry, because this young brother has say he forgave her. He says he forgave her. He don't have no authority to punish her, to judge her. So he just do what's best for him, is to forgive her and take it off his mind. It had already done. That's what he could do. There's no other authority he has. Comprehend what he's saying there, what he's doing today. Now, another thing we must take into consideration, where this young man came from, his experience to our experience is totally different. Where this young man comes from, he have never seen a white person kill a black person. Think about it. The island he came from, every time he react with a white person, I suppose it was with smiles, courtesy. That's how they behave when they are outside their country. They treat the people in their islands or in their countries with respect. It's only here where they have their privileges. See, it's the privilege that causes the problem. So this young man, it might take him years to comprehend why people are so mad with what he did. But don't blame him. I have used him as an example to us. I have brought them from across the seas. What did I tell us? He's going to gather us from the ends of the earth. He will make us consider. He going to do things to make us consider. He is going to do things to us and among us to make us consider. Why did I send us? Why did he destroy Jerusalem? Why did he cause us to be put to shame? Why did he cause us to be as a reproach to the nations? It's all because of our disobedience. My dear brothers and sisters, I'm speaking to you, you who read your prophets, the words of your prophets. Why did I punish us? Because of our disobedience. I is doing things to us to get us angry. Because when we get angry, we might turn to him. When we get angry and there is no other way to solve a problem, there is no other thing we could do, maybe then we will start to remember what he told us we must remember. What did he tell us we must remember? Huh? He said, "This is my name unto you forever, and a memorial." You have to memorize this name. That's your only hope, your only help you have. Now I'll remind you again. Keep reading the book of Ezekiel. That's our report the Most High sent to us through Hezekiah. That's our report. Read it. Comfort yourself. Ask God to protect you from what you've seen happening around. Ask him to protect you in your home, protect you on the street, to protect you in your car, to protect you in the mall, to protect you. Ask God to cover you with his glory. Ask God to shield you and your children. Ask him to protect you from what's coming. My dear brothers and sisters, that is the tip of the iceberg. Allah is going to make us as a people consider. Because we doesn't want to consider. 400 years. And all we do is complain about what we went through. 400 years. And we won't turn to him. 400 years you have his book. He's speaking to you. He sent his prophets to you. They all telling you the same thing. What do you expect? What he did to the Egyptian when they didn't listen. What he did to Pharaoh when Pharaoh didn't listen. What he did to us when we didn't listen. What he did to all the nations when he sent his warning to them and they don't listen. Consider, my dear brothers and sisters. Consider. And may Allah bless you. And may Allah keep you. May Allah set his love upon you and protect you. That's all we have as protection. We have Allah. We have a mighty one that no one could take away from us. We have a mighty one that promised he will never leave us alone. We have a mighty one who says He will always be with us. We have a mighty one who says he is not far from us. We don't need nobody to go look for him for us. We have a mighty one who gave us his name. We have a mighty one who gave us some laws that we have to keep. We have a mighty one who gave us promises. And he said to us, we must praise his name throughout the whole book he gave us. This book is your book. Read Psalm 40. Read the Psalm 40. He said, Lo, I come. In the volume of the book, it is written of me. My dear brothers and sisters, that's your book. It is written about you. It is written for you. Turn to EZER-IAH, your Redeemer. Turn to EZER-IAH, your Redeemer. May EZER-IAH bless you and keep you. May EZER-IAH guide you and protect you. May he shield you from all danger, from all accidents, and from all iniquity. Say this with me. Turn to the northeast. Stretch your hand out. Look towards the holy place, Mount Zion. Look towards Jerusalem, where the house was built for EZER's name. He said, turn to that place, call out to him, and he will bless you from heaven. There are those who will hear, and there are those that will forbear. There are those who will be protected. There are those who will not. There are those who will these things happen to, and there are those who it will not happen to. There are those who will suffer, those who will not. My dear brothers and sisters, turn to EZER, your Redeemer. He is EZER, your Redeemer. And always remember, you are an Israelite. You are a Hebrew Israelite. You have never been a Jew. Your ancestors have never been Jews. You will never be a Jew. You are a Hebrew Israelite. And if you are a Hebrew Israelite by your birthright, by your DNA, you cannot be changed. You cannot be changed into any other thing. You are not to join any other thing. You are not to convert to any other thing. To convert to any other thing is wrong, is sinful, is an abomination. EZER says, him and him alone. If you are a Hebrew Israelite, that's what you are. It's like a white man. If you are white, you are white. If you are black, you are black. If you are Asian, you are Asian. If you're European, you are European. If you are a Hamite, you are a Hamite. If you are from Japhet, you are from Japhet. If you are from Shem, you are from Shem. You cannot change this. You can't change this. You are Shemites because we are from Shem. We are Israel. We are Hebrew because we are from Abraham. And Shemites from Shem. And Israelite from Ico, who EZER has established his covenant with. You can't change it. You are to follow the laws that was given to you by EZER, your Redeemer. You are to read the prophets. You must call on his name. You have to keep his commandments. Thank you, my brothers and sisters, for listening. And may EZER bless you. And say this with me. EZER, EZER, have mercy on me. EZER, EZER, have mercy on me. Have mercy on me, EZER, for I have sinned against you. My fathers, my judges, my kings, and my princesses, the whole of Israel and Judea have sinned against you. But I now present myself before you. I ask you, EZER, please, EZER, forgive me. Forgive me, EZER. Forgive me. Wash me and make me clean. Set your spirit in me and magnify it. EZER, my Redeemer. Oh, EZER, my Redeemer. I thank you. I thank you, EZER, for everything. I thank you, EZER, for everything.